Managing financial pressure. It's something we may do on a daily or a weekly basis, a monthly or maybe annually. What does it mean? What's involved with managing financial pressure? Welcome to another episode of the About Mansfield Consumer Advice Series. I'm your host, Steve Casillo. We bring in, as we do every Financial Friday, we bring in our financial guru. That would be Phillip Washington Jr. with the podcast Wealth Building Made Simple. Today, managing financial pressure. To me, we talked about this off the air. To me, that's like obviously pressure. Pressure is something that builds up. Could be steam inside of a pot. That something is going to come to a boil is under pressure. I had mentioned this to you that pressure to me financially is when the bills stack up and the checking account's a little low. But let's get into the basics first. What is financial pressure?
You just said something so profound just now. When you said pressure.
Great. And we're done. Well, thank you. Have a good weekend.
Pressure. I had like three parables come to mind about pressure when you said that, but I go for the simpler one is like, you have to have pressure in order to turn coal into a diamond, right? Is coal what becomes a diamond? Yeah.
Exactly, yes.
Coal becomes a diamond through properly applied pressure. And so pressure is just necessary for change, right? It's just a necessary part of the change process. And so pressure can be like it's neutral. It can be unpleasurable or pleasurable, just like change, right? Change can be pleasurable or unpleasurable. It just depends on your perspective, right? And so I think of financial pressure in the sense of the way that we typically think about it is we think financial pressure as negatively, right? But I've said it multiple times before, but I had a mentor who once told me when I was complaining to him in my 20s about like money and I wasn't making any sales, and I know I had like maybe $42 in my bank account. I'm probably exaggerating the number, but probably not, right? But I didn't have much money, and I said, "Man, I'm poor," and he went, "Well, poor is a mindset, but so I wouldn't say poor. I might say broke, right? Broke is temporary, but he said as you expand your balance sheet, you're going to always have periods of being broke, right? So I might translate that now into periods of like financial pressure where you have these desires that you're focused on and your current resources are not in line with the desire, right? And so maybe you make an investment into something and your resources are not caught up with it, so you feel some pressure financially, and you feel negatively when you're focused on the conditions, right? When you're focused on like things as they are, it feels pressure. But if you focus on like the feeling of what you want, which everything that we want is to feel good. But let's say wealth, right? Wealth is quality of life. When you stay focused on like the quality of your life, right? It keeps your mind away from the conditions as they are and on like the beautifulness of the experience, right? You get to enjoy the journey. You appreciate the things that you do have. You appreciate the parts of the process that is adding as the pressure is building, and you focus from a feeling standpoint or even a vision standpoint on the outcome and how that feels, so you can like enjoy the process and let it play out, right?
That makes sense. And going back to that when you were in your 20s and being poor. Again, the mindset, but if you look around at your material assets, you go, well, I'm not poor. I may not have money in the bank. And I was reading this the other day. I had mentioned this on my podcast. The average American that owns a home has on average 300,000 items in their home. And which is mind-boggling. So you may only have $100 in the bank, but take a look around and what can I do with that? Okay, well, you know what? I need some quick cash. I'm not going to go to the cash store. I'm going to sell some stuff. Go on Facebook Marketplace and start unloading some of that 300,000 stuff. Mm-hmm. And so, but all right, let's get into the journey.
Mm-hmm.
and you've got your 401k, or you've got your business, or you've got you're developing you talk about the journey. The journey is reaching your final destination of X amount of dollars that you want in your bank account.
Yeah, no, I like that, and I want to. So the journey for me is the reward, right?
Yeah.
The journey is like the learning process, right? Or the journey is the experience, and typically, and I'm just as guilty as this is most, right? When we get out of balance, we look at the end result, the desire expressed as the reward. But really, the journey is the reward, because the journey is where all the good feeling parts of the process are coming together to create the desire, right? So if you think about it as like it's like a puzzle, like you have the puzzle as the end result, right? And that's a cool experience. But like, what if you can feel the joy of each piece, right? Each piece, as you put it together, you felt the joy of it. Because, right, you can focus on the pieces that are together of the puzzle, or you can focus on the absent pieces that are not there, right? You get to choose how you experience putting together the puzzle.
You could talk about the life in itself is, you've got several steps of pleasurable journeys. You've got life, the process of making life, the birth of a child could be the
desire.
The desire. All right, so. And then, through the child's life,
and then the process is the fun part of making the child.
The different rites that the child goes through, from the first day of school, or when they graduate high school, or when they become 18 or learn to drive. Those are part of the successes of the journey.
Yeah,
and not only your child's, but also in yourself. So I feel like I should be asking the questions, but I'm
but you're hitting. I mean, you're hitting some good points. I think like that's where managing financial pressure. That's how you do it properly. Because and you said something in the question before that I think was also good, because you said it's more like when you get trapped in conditions, right? When you make the condition the way you feel, right? Then you don't open yourself up to solutions that can help you get to where you want to go. So meaning, like you said, you have some financial pressure, which is saying like, feel good, relax your mind, right? And then when you relax your mind, you go, I call it like detaching from conditions. You detach from conditions and you go, I got stuff in here I don't need, right? I can sell this stuff, and this is the solution to my financial problem. But if you're trapped by saying, I want to get here and I want to get here with all this stuff, right? Okay, it's going to take longer. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
That's fine. Like, there's no one path. There's infinite paths. But, right, if you can just if you free your feelings from the condition and you feel good, and then you detach and you go, I don't really need this stuff anyway, then you can find a lot of solutions. A lot of people are stuck longer in the learning process than what they have to because of their resistance.
Let's bring this into practicalities here.
Yes, sir.
I want to be able to afford a home, or I own a business and I've got some financial pressures there, or my investments are going down, they're going up, they're going down. I'm feeling the pressure there. Your thoughts on that?
Yep. So in each of those examples, and I'm just going to pick one. I'm going to pick the business example. Whatever you focus on is the way you're going to feel. And the way you're going to feel is going to close your mind or open your mind, right? Negative emotion closes your mind.
Yeah.
Positive emotion opens your mind. And if you think about it that way, think of a mind, a highly intelligent person has the ability to process information fast and accurately, right? Had a lot of mental clarity. A non-clear mind has a lot of resistance in it, right? It has a lot of it moves slower because it's hung up on like stuff, right? Inaccuracies, facts, useless stuff, but it's more unclear. And so the mind is how everything works. And so I'm going back to the business example. It's more like if there's a solution that like a mentor told you, a friend told you, you already know, you read in the book, right? Like the solution that you need to grow your business out of the current situation that it's in, the information is there. You probably just can't hear it because like your mind's closed because you have negative emotions around the deal, where it can be as simple as like just relaxing, having the feeling you want to feel, and then you get the idea. I'm pretty sure you've all gotten ideas where you get an idea and you're like, that idea is super obvious.
Yeah.
Right? Why didn't I think about that before? Well, because you felt negatively about that subject, and so the information cannot flow through with clarity to where you want it. So that's the benefit of like relieving pressure, right? By focusing on your feeling, is it allows the solution to get your business unstuck to where it needs to be.
Think wealthy, be wealthy.
100%.
See the ball, be the ball.
See the ball, be the ball. Yes.
No.
Focus on how you feel. No, and I'll end it with this point because it's the more I think about it, the more I'm like, it's ridiculous. It's super ridiculous how we can't feel good about where we are at any moment in time, because if we were to time travel and go hang out with our ancestors who were a part of us, from a DNA standpoint, and I believe from a spiritual standpoint, they would be like, you spoiled brat. You know what I mean? Like, look at where you live, like the life you live. I couldn't even imagine. You know what I mean? Like the further back you go, the less they can imagine experiencing what we get to experience and what we get to enjoy, like today in this moment in time, right? It's just a matter of perspective. Yeah. And so the journey is like the beautiful learning process. And so just focus on appreciating every aspect of, or the positive aspects of where you are, right? And from that state, you open your mind to like how to get to the next steps. That's called intuition, I guess. It is called intuition. That's what intuition flows. That's how intuition flows.
There you go. Folks, if you want more information, you got to listen. Go ahead and any podcast platform. Wealth Building Made Simple is the podcast. That's Phillip Washington Jr., and he's going to tell us how to get in touch with him in the event you want to think wealthy and be wealthy.
Free your mind, brother.
Free your mind. How do we get in contact with you?
Wealthbuildingmadesimple.us. That's wealthbuildingmadesimple.us.
Wealthbuildingmadesimple.us. When I come here next week, I will not have the sweat on the brow. We will have air conditioning, and we will free ourselves of our... Yes, I'm looking forward to it.
Free yourself.
Yes. Phillip, we do this every week and every Friday. Let's go ahead and do it again next week.
All right. Thanks for having me, Steve.
We appreciate you listening to the About Mansfield Consumer Advice Series. By the way, if you own a business and you are interested in being a part of the Consumer Advice Series, if you have the knowledge to give information in 10-minute increments to the consumers, shoot me an email to info@aboutmansfield.com. Again, that is info@aboutmansfield.com. We'll tell you how we can get you all set up. Appreciate it. We do it again next week right here on the podcast.